There's a million of them. By DoopleWrites. I swear, no matter where you go or what you wear, you'll end up running into these kinds of people. The ones who catcall you as you walk down the boulevard. The creepy barista who lock onto your ass the second you walk out the door. The guy wearing sunglasses death staring you from across the quad. It sends shivers down my spine. It's like I'm nothing but a pair of floating tits or an ass connected to legs. It's just so damn creepy. And the worst part is how shameless some of them are. It's always a 50-50. Sometimes I like to guess which side of the coin they'll land on. I'll take a glance at them and suss them out. Are they old? Young? Do they have sunglasses on? Are their shoulders squared, their legs planted firmly? What are they wearing? The first glance normally gives me all I need to work with. I take my guess, wait a second, and then make my move. I'll turn and stare right back at them. I'll look them right in the eyes. Like, yeah, I just caught you staring. What now? What's the play, big boy? 50% of the time, they'll just keep on staring. A smirk will creep onto their face, and their eyebrows will raise in that cocky, I knew you'd check me out kind of way. Sometimes they'll even have the nerve to approach me. They'll open up with some annoying, sure of themselves statement like, hey, I saw you checking me out. Want to give me your number? Or hey, I just noticed you from across the plaza. Want to go for drinks? As if that'll work. It's like they imagine I'll jump for joy at the very thought of giving them my damn time. Like I'll say, oh, fuck, yeah, want to skip dinner and just go right to the part where we fuck. Those ones are the worst. But I think this guy's the second type. There's just something about him. It might be the way he's standing slouched against the train wall as if he's trying to melt away from everyone, or how his shoulders slouch forward as if he's just waiting for someone to yell at him. It might just be the clothes he's wearing, a dirty brown hoodie with gray slack pants and... are those slippers? At this time? What, did he wake up and just decide to hitch a train ride at 9 p.m.? Definitely seems like the second type. But how old is he? If he's some old pervert who just came back from the weekly bingo, I might be opening up a can of sexual harassment that I don't have the energy for right now. I readjust my earphones and try to concentrate on him out of the corner of my eye, but I just can't get a good read on it. Damn it, it looks like I'll have to take a chance. I turn another page of my book and wait. 1 second. 2. 5. There, he finally glances away, and I take my chance. My eyes flick up to his face. Gotcha. Scruffy beard, young face, mouth all scrunched up as if he wishes he could be anywhere else in the world right now. Eyes hidden behind a pair of sunglasses. Sunglasses? At 9 p.m.? Dude's gotta be a shut-in. I mean, who's he kidding? Hiding your face doesn't help much when you look like you just escaped from the coma ward. We can all tell, man. Alright. Definitely the second type. I feel a small bit of excitement rise up within me. There's nothing more satisfying than giving these perverts a little taste of their own medicine. It's my guilty pleasure, really. I mean, he's been checking me out the entire time I've been here. He deserves a little bit of awkwardness. I wait. Patience now. Gotta time it just right. Right now, he's just letting his eyes wander, convincing himself that he totally wasn't staring at me. He just so happened to glance at me while his eyes were wandering around, and after a little bit of time, his eyes will magically wander back over to me. He'll stare for a few more seconds, trying not to make it too obvious, and then start the cycle all over again. The trick is to wait. Out the corner of my eye, I see his head swivel back onto me. I can feel his eyes roaming over me like some disgusting slug wandering around my body. Hold it. His shoulders start to tense, his anxiousness growing as he keeps pushing it a bit longer. He doesn't want to get caught, after all. And the longer he stares, the higher the chances that someone else will notice. But he wants to stare for just a moment longer. Just one more second. Now, I look up at him, my eyes locked on his. Well, where his eyes would be, his sunglasses do kinda ruin the fun. I love doing this. They always tense up, their eyes going wide as they realize that they've been caught. They'll quickly glance away, acting all inconspicuous, as if their gaze just happened to land on me at that exact same moment. After that happens, I'll look away. I'll give my... Fuck, dude, are you serious? I'll give myself a pat on the back and carry on reading in peace. He'll probably avoid looking at me at all costs, like I'm some sick hobo pissing on the streets. The second he looks away, that is. I stare at him for what must have been an eternity. 1 second, 2, 3. His eyes stay locked onto mine. Hell, he hasn't even moved an inch. He just keeps standing there, shoulders hunched and mouth unmoving. Did he freaking fall asleep? 4, 5. Damn it, I refuse to look this. He's gonna crack any second now. 6, 7. Fuck, man. I quickly look back down at my book, frustrated beyond all hell. Is this guy shameless? How the hell can he just stand there acting like getting caught staring for the last freaking 5 minutes was no big deal? I relax my clenched jaw and let out a frustrated sigh. Fuck this. I'm just gonna ignore him for the rest of the trip. See if I care. I'm not gonna let him ruin the rest of my trip. I turn my music up as loud as it can go and get back to reading, ignoring the feeling of his eyes boring into me. Fuck it, my stop's coming up soon anyways. I reread the page for what must have been the 10th time, my mind a million miles away, focusing on the creep. I force it back into focus with a hard yank. There's not a chance in hell I'm letting my own goddamn brain leave me on this cliffhanger. After a while, my brain finally settles, and I devour the words one after another. The clack of the train over the tracks fade into the background. The music blaring through my headphones becomes nothing more than white noise. The world around me takes a back seat as the story rises to a crescendo. I get to the end of the page, my excitement building to an unbearable level. It's finally happening, the grand reveal, the main conflict, just one more page. I flip over and feel a heavy thunk right next to me, snapping me out of my world. I twist around, furious at this new interruption, my excitement flipping to irritation in a moment. This fucking guy again? Black sunglasses stare down at me. Scruffy beard closer to my face than I ever wanted them to be. He's leaning towards me, the smell of sweat and unwashed clothes assaulting my nose. Is this guy for real? Just sitting down right next to me? Is he dumb? Overly confident? Did he forget to take his pills today? His greasy lips flap at me, some spittle falling into his beard. His eyebrow raises up questioningly over the brim of his glasses. Is he trying to talk to me? Should I just ignore him? Nah, fuck that. This asshole just interrupted the best part. I take out my earphone and stare daggers at him, hoping that he can notice the disgust and irritation written on my face. His mouth shuts quickly. Good. So it was obvious enough. Gathering up as much venom as I can, I open my mouth. What? I said, "Isn't this your stop?" He raises his arm, reaching it past my face and pointing out the window. His hand barely brushes my hair on the way there, giving me a shiver. The dark tunnel grows lighter as the train slows down to a crawl. The steady clacking of the train grows longer and longer, slower and slower. I turn around and look out the window. The train stop pops out from the darkness, bright bulbs blaring as the train stops and lets out a loud hiss. Satisfied with a job well done. I let out a sigh and pack my book away. Yep, this is my stop. Guess I'll just have to wait until I get home. Damn it, and I hate cliffhangers. I stand up and turn my body towards the aisle, ready to get out, but he's just sitting there, his legs blocking me as they bounce up and down, his face turned downward, staring at his clenched hands. What, does he expect me to just squeeze past him? God, this guy's unbelievable. Excuse me? He ignores me, his legs bouncing faster and faster, up and down. Can you move? He clenches his hands tighter, his knuckles turning white. His head flicks up, looking back and then forward again, scanning the aisles. Dude, I need to get out. I can feel my blood boiling as I stare down at him. What the hell's he doing? I'm about to open my mouth and scream at him when all of a sudden a man barrels past us, dragging a bag behind him and smashing it into every seat on the way. He pulls out a phone and brings it up to his ear, ducking out of the doorway. The loud sounds of his conversation fades away, and a few more passengers follow behind him. The sudden calm turns to a crescendo of loud conversations, heavy footsteps, and the sounds of bags smashing into things. After a moment, it dies down, and with a long sigh, the creep finally stands up and gets out of the way. Fucking finally. I squeeze past the chairs and out into the walkway, making sure I don't brush against him. God, this feels like the longest train ride ever. At least it's just a 5-minute hike back home. Should I grab a drink when I get back? I quickly look up at the creep, our eyes catching again. Fuck it. I deserve some wine. I turn my back on him and make my way to the exit, thoughts of him quickly fading into the background as his existence is quickly forgotten. There's a million of him out there. It's best not to dwell on it. I mean, damn, if I cared about every perv I came across, I wouldn't have any time for anything else. Plus, they're mostly harmless. I turn towards the door, ready to make my exit, when I hear him speak behind me. Get home safe, Annie. I freeze up just before the exit. Do I know him? I turn back to him, heart beating in my chest. Did we work together? Did I meet him at the bar? I stare at his face, at his clothes, at his build, trying to recognize something, anything. No. I've never seen him before in my life. He gives a smile and nods his head. I'll see you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode of MrPeePeePasta. If you are scared out of your pants, please consider subscribing and liking the video. If you weren't scared, that makes sense. This story was pretty butts. I hope to see you next time on the next episode of MrPeePeePasta.